Hey guys, this is Trondy,
This is Milk.
and we're bringing you episode
8.
8? Really?
Episode 8.
Wow. We're bringing you episode 8 of the Dungeon Floor. Gnomer.
We're in Gnomeregan.
Gnomeregan. The Dungeon Floor is a pretty awesome series where Milk and I are going through and two-manning all the 5 main instances in the game.
How do you feel about that, Trondy?
I'm feeling pretty empowered, and I feel like we can do it.
Good. Because I think we can too.
So yeah, Gnomer. Gnomer was pretty fun. I don't remember anything particularly special to mention about it though.
No. The Meg-Kinnear Thermoplug was kind of easy.
What we wanted to talk about was Cataclysm, the changes in roles, because in our last video we talked about
some talent changes.
Talents, yeah, and how the ideology on talent is changing. But that's a very overall thing that affects everybody that plays the game. But
this
roles,
is much more affecting the individual people who play the game.
Because they are changing what you have to do, regardless of what role you are. You know, whether you're a tank, a DPS, or a healer. So let's start with.
I'm gonna actually start off. Healing is going to be much harder, so a lot of the roles now are revolving around making the healer's job easier. So as a tank.
Everything is pretty centralized around the fact that healing is changing. So let's start explaining how tanking is changing. I want to say it was MMO Champion has a blue tracker, and I'm sorry if it wasn't MMO Champion, but someone has a blue tracker. And I found a quote from Ghostcrawler, who is the lead systems designer.
Yeah, he's a pretty big guy.
Yeah, he's pretty up there.
And his quote about tanking is, just paraphrase, back in the day, threat was a source of bragging rights for the tank. As a tank, you should have to pay as much attention to your rotation as an Affliction Lock or a Frost Death Knight needs to do in order to be competitive.
Yeah. I felt like that was a very interesting quote, because I think it kind of embodies everything that I was noticing to be changing in the Cataclysm beta.
Like, man, right now, tanking's like, you get the gear, you just kind of hit buttons, doesn't matter what you hit, you're going to hold threat.
We should probably mention that you have a paladin tank.
Yeah, I'm a paladin tank. If you know gear score, I'm at 4999. But I'm like fully gemmed and fully enchanted.
Yeah, is that your main or your alt?
That's my malt.
That's your malt.
Malt.
You have 2 malts.
Yeah, I'll get a chocolate malt. Thank you. Sonic, America's Driving.
Yeah, and I was a tank back in Olduar on a Death Knight, so
yeah,
we both know a thing or two about tanking. So, we are able to hold threat pretty well. It's just that there are a lot of people that are not up to their gear score. Like, they are not performing at the level of their gear score. Back in my day, I was playing in the Olduar patch, and tanks were doing 2k DPS regularly. But now, they're doing what, like 1.5?
Anyway, so tanking, like the role of a tank is now going to be primarily holding threat and then mitigating damage. As opposed to having all this great gear hitting buttons. You're going to have to learn how to actually optimize your rotation, optimize your spec for threat generation.
Yeah. Basically, they're trying to avert your attention from staying alive to causing threat.
Yeah.
And I want to say that's probably a good thing, because staying alive, there gets to a point where you just kind of stay alive.
Yeah.
Once you get so much gear, you just don't even have to worry about it. And but with threat, once you keep on getting your raid geared, even the DPSers around you are going to keep on getting gear. So the threat's going to keep on going up.
Yep.
So you, in turn, need to improve, or you're supposed to improve as a player. And I experienced that in Olduar Heroics, or hard modes rather, because I started playing with these really, really incredible DPSers that were pulling like 6 or 7k in Olduar gear. And I'm not sure where those people are today, but You know, the important thing is that I had to improve a lot as a tank, and I had to improve my single target threat generation. And yeah, so I think it's a good thing they're changing this.
Yeah. Next, we shall talk about DPSers.
Yeah, DPSers.
I feel like this has been something that Blizzard wanted to do, but in light of scaling things incorrectly, has just been ignorable. Crowd control.
Crowd control.
Very, very necessary back in the day when you were leveling in dungeons.
Just in case you.
Very necessary in raids at level 60 and level 70.
Yeah.
And
just in case you're not entirely sure, when crowd control is using like sap, polymorph, basically CC is incapacitating mobs for 30 seconds to a minute and just dragging them entirely out of a fight. The thing about crowd control is that you have to kind of set it up, or at least know what you're going to do before you do the pull.
Yeah.
And if you do a sloppy pull or you do a double pull, like a pull twice the size of what you were intending, you don't have the crowd control specified, or you have mobs standing in AoE that need to be crowd controlled.
Yeah.
So crowd control becomes extremely difficult, and sometimes you just can't even do it. So as a result, yeah, there are going to be a lot of wipes from unplanned pulls.
Yeah.
And
no more like, oh, we just had a difficult time, we lost a DPS, but the healer still ended at 70% mana.
yeah,
No, it's gonna be a wipe.
modern day it's not. You just kind of throw down more AoEs, throw down more heals, and you're fine. But
Throw out a
no.
taunt.
Basically, the role of a DPS, as we just went over, was changing crowd control, or actually doing crowd control. But you also have to be more mindful of the damage that you're taking.
Which means take no damage.
Or take less damage. Take as little damage as possible, because you could, in theory, wipe the group if you are a mage and you just take too much damage. You could cause the group to wipe. If the healer tries to keep you alive, the healer is going to be using a lot of mana to keep you alive, and as a result, you're probably going to wipe the group because the healer is going to run out of mana and is not going to be able to heal the tank as a result.
Which reminds me of healers. They're getting many changes.
The main change in Cataclysm is healers. Like most of the other changes in the game and in the playstyle
are affected by the changes to the healers.
Yeah, the healers are sort of like the center point that everything is pivoting around.
I'm just gonna say it right now. Healers, excellent healers will stay excellent healers because
they already do it.
They're going to let that rogue die when he's taking damage. That rogue's gonna think the healers fail, but everyone else in the group, and if they know what they're doing, is going to be like, hey, that healer didn't let us all die, he just let the one guy die. Good call, healer.
So, speaking to an excellent healer, let's say that basically what Cataclysm is going to be is, imagine if you were healing a heroic with, let's say, heroic Pit of Sauron, with a really average geared tank, like, I don't know, 4K something gear score.
4.1K.
Somewhere around there.
So you have to actually walk into the instance.
But imagine that you were imagine that you were healing this with in blues. Or almost entirely in blues and some greens. So and imagine all of it was like spell power gear. So you had almost no regen, and your mana pool was really, really low. Imagine trying to heal it like that. That's basically what it's going to be. Chances are good that if you're an excellent healer, you don't really care. I mean, chances are good that you can do it anyway. And if you're a bad healer, chances are good that you won't be able to do it anyway. So I have a feeling that a lot of people that are going to be watching this video are going to be good healers. Like, as of right now, they're either good or average.
And to keep being a good healer in Cataclysm, you need to get much better.
Yeah. So let's explain what's actually happening. Regen in itself is pretty much gone.
Almost entirely.
Almost entirely gone. How you're going to conserve your mana, or where your mana is going to be coming from, is that you're going to be using mana efficient heals. So for instance, priests. Priests right now have greater heal and flash heal.
Yeah.
They also have a regular heal spell, which, if you were in vanilla WoW, you used that as well. But
Downranking
got killed, so that spell got phased away. But
yeah.
now imagine if there was a flash heal and a greater heal. The flash heal healed really quickly, and the greater heal healed a lot in a relatively short period of time. Like it was a big heal. And then there was a heal in between that didn't really do either. It wasn't particularly fast. It didn't do a lot, but it was really mana efficient. So you have these 3 heals, and you have to consciously pick, which one do you need? Do I need to heal really fast? Do I need to heal a lot of damage? Or can I be mana efficient?
Yeah.
And pushing that mana efficient heal is where your mana is going to come from.
Actually, we have another good quote by Ghostcrawler, the lead system designer. He said that assuming you're geared to the level of the fight, assuming that you're, properly geared for the fight, he said, if you use the right heal at the right time, you shouldn't run out of mana.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking that he's assuming less than 10% overhealing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's using the right heal at the right time.
Yeah. If I've got a DPS and he's missing 2,000 health and my heals all heal for 8-9 times that, I'm just not going to heal him.
Yeah.
He's got spirit. He can eat a food thing after the fight. He can heal himself.
Yeah, overhealing is really, really bad. So try to cast the right heal for the right situation. But I remember watching a beta. I don't remember what dungeon it was, but someone was running one of the heroics in the beta, and their healer. Well, they were doing some fight where the party was taking a lot of damage, and their healer went from 80% mana to 20% mana in a period of about 10 seconds. And that is absolutely crazy. The guy had said previously that the healer was geared up to the level of the dungeon.
Yeah.
And he burned through half of his mana pool in 10 seconds. It was crazy.
So, stay out of the fire.
Basically, if you're doing runs now and a DPSer, well, this is more than likely that you've experienced this several times. DPSers, stand in boss AoE that they can avoid.
Or the poison clouds on the ground.
Yeah, and you just heal through it because you're just whatever, I have a bunch of mana. But you're going to have to start prioritizing your heals. You're going to have to start figuring out, that you need to tell these people to either, get out of the fire or that you're going to let them die. Because spending however much mana it takes to keep them alive, you're enabling them to wipe the group. Your priority is to keep the group alive, and that's not necessarily to keep dumb people alive. So if he wants to be stupid, you can let him, just chill out in the back on the floor for the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, there's a real good video about this, and we're gonna link that now.
Just click here.
The entire screen except for that bottom left pixel. Okay.
That one sucks.
Yeah. But man, what else?
Real quick, should we talk about the final boss since you wanted to talk about him?
Medkineer Thermoplug?
Thermoplug.
Yeah, he was easy. It made me cry.
It was awkward because I remember at some point in time I lost threat and the boss just kept on beating on you, but it didn't matter.
As I was running from switch to switch.
It didn't even matter. It's so obnoxious. I was spamming taunt, but apparently the boss isn't tauntable.
Bombs are following me and I'm just moonfire, switch, moonfire, heal, switch.
Even though the fight went horribly awkward, we still pulled it off relatively easy, and with 2 people. I mean, this shouldn't have happened.
When I actually do this in a group. If I'm the healer, I just do switch duty, just because people don't know what switch duty is. So I'm like, I'm on switch duty. If you want to be healed, stay in the middle. Go.
So what does this boss do? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Just kill him.
Just kill him.
You got 30 seconds before the tank dies. Go.
What? Oh, God.
Alright, so this has been Milk.
This has been Trondy. Thanks for watching episode 8.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
See you later.